A prisoner at the Michigan Department of Corrections.
My name is Terrell Bishop, prison number 619748. I'm calling, this COVID-19 situation. The MDOC, they're not being very honest about what they're doing and how they're handling this. I've been in the prison system for 7 years, twice innocent, twice convicted. And it is when we write a kite, a medical kite, for instance, and we say that we're not feeling well, something is wrong, temperature, maybe the symptoms of COVID-19. What they're doing is they'll call us out, bring us up there, they'll check our temperature, do blood pressure, and say, drink water. There's nothing wrong with you. They're not testing us. So they're putting a lot of propaganda out there, and as if, we've tested so many inmates and so many are positive, so many are negative. They're not testing us. We have people in here. We are sitting 8 men per cube. People get sick. They go up there. There's no test being administered whatsoever. They just have us jammed in here. They had a walkthrough on the 15th. They had a doctor and they had a deputy warden, Morgale. He walked through our unit, and I stopped him, and I asked, I said, I'm hearing different things about how you guys are handling this. I said, I got word that they were social distancing us. I said, yet we're still 8 men deep in this cube. We're breathing on top of each other. You have a man on top bunk, bottom bunk, 4 people on one side, 4 people on the other side. There's no social distancing. But yet, outside, when we're walking, say, to dinner or lunch, they just painted yellow lines on the walkway, and they told us to stand outside 6 feet away from each other as we're going into the chow hall. Step on each yellow line. Now, you're just making people sicker. You got us outside freezing, one at a time, walking in the chow hall, standing 6 feet apart, which is slowing the chow hall lines down, where you're going to catch pneumonia. But yet, as soon as we get inside, we're sitting 3 feet apart from each other. We walk back outside. We're right in each other's face. We're back in our cubes, 8 men per cube. They keep telling us here at Jackson Cooper Street that there's no one that tested positive for COVID-19. That's not true. What they're doing is, if someone is really, really sick and they believe that they have it, if they test them, they're immediately calling the state-owned MDOC ambulance truck that sits in a garage over at Jackson Prison, and they're getting the person and they're taking them out of here so that they're keeping the compound clean, saying, no one is tested positive at Jackson Cooper Street. Just last week, I've watched this ambulance pull in here maybe 4 or 5 times. So it's like everything is cover up and conceal. I have a family member that's a state legislator. I try to communicate as much as I can to her as possible. She says that they're working on possible incentive credits, but they're not. Every time I inform her of this information, her name is State Rep. Latanya Garrett, and I inform her of this information, she's in shock because they're getting opposite information from the MDOC. These people are lying. They're not doing anything. Then they're telling the public that they're releasing us. They're saying, we're expediting paroles. That's not true. I have 2 people in my 8-man cube who just seen the parole board. 2 weeks later, they got a flop, meaning they just got their sentence extended by 12 months for absolutely no reason. So even with the push to release inmates, it's like the parole board and the Michigan Department of Corrections is pushing back. The public is saying, we need people released, we need people released. Now, in my opinion, there's let me reiterate this. There's no reason to have a level 1 prison. I've been in this system for 7 years. Why do we have level 1 prisons? The guys in level 1 are ready to be at home. They're ready to get back reintegrated into society. No one's violent here. But they portray us as if we're animals. They portray us as if, we're a threat. So if they release us, what are the general public going to do? I've been here 7 years. There's nothing going on here. 99% of this compound could be released today, and there wouldn't be no returns. These people will go out, get jobs, and everything will be just fine. They're ripping the taxpayers off, and it's really sad. One last thing that I would like to add, and this is really important, that our system is based on a scam regardless, and this is something that they don't tell you. What they're doing is when they convict you, especially like Oakland County Court, for example, they did this to me. I went through an entire trial. When I tried to appeal my conviction and I received my transcripts were completely edited. There's people that testified that said certain words, key words that can get your conviction overturned, like no, they did not do this, yes, no, he did not have a gun, or anything of that nature, just for example. They're editing the transcript. So the transcriptionists, the judges and the prosecutors are removing sections of the transcripts, changing words in the transcripts, so that when we get to prison and we try to appeal our conviction, the conviction and the appeal is based off of the written record. The written record has been altered. Now, I've raised this multiple times to all the courts. I even raised this to Gretchen Whitmer, our governor, years ago before she became governor. I sent her entire package on it. They're all scared to talk about it. This is like the state's great secret. So you have people in here such as myself. I've been sitting here over 7 years innocent. They know it. But I'm sitting on a bunch of transcripts that are phony, that are edited. So it's just a sad situation. I didn't come to prison expecting to die. But now I'm sitting here fighting my conviction, trying to get home. I've lost my mom. My mom has died. Family members have passed away. And I'm sitting here and now I'm fearing that I'm going to lose my life to COVID-19 because I'm falsely incarcerated and I'm stuck in an overcrowded prison system. It's sad. It hurts, and we just need the general public to please sign the petitions for good time. Reach out, call the governor, call my family, State Rep Latanya Garrett, call our state senators and legislators and let them know. Please help us. You know, the MDOC is just being greedy, and they're being very manipulative. You know, they hate when you call them a liar, but, you know, that's exactly what they're doing. They're lying. When I told the deputy warden the other day about the outside chow hall going into the dinner line, and we're freezing out there, you know, he laughed at me. He said, "Oh, too bad for you. Wear extra coat." Oh, so what? Oh, well. He made a mockery of it. You know, and this is their attitude. This is the general attitude that you get. You know, the officers, they come in here, they're enforcing, why don't you have on a makeshift mask, but they're not wearing their mask. You know, we need help. You know, and that's why I'm making this call. I really appreciate notes from the village. Darnell, we appreciate you. Thank you for getting our voices out there. We want to be heard. We need the general public, our family, and our friends to reach out to the legislators, reach out to Gretchen Whitmer and say, hey, help these guys, especially the level 1 prisoners. We are no threat. We are not a threat at all. Thank you so much.
Can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a question? Can you hear me, please? Tell me, if nothing happens this week, if nothing happens next week, God forbid if nothing happens 3 weeks from now, what is your outlook on things?
It's getting tense in here. We're waiting to die. We are literally sitting here waiting to die. Every time someone sneezes, every time someone coughs, we're grabbing blankets trying to cover our face. It's about survival. You know, it's really getting scary in here. We're just sitting ducks. You know, essentially a 10-year sentence, a 5-year sentence, a 2-year sentence has turned into a death sentence. This is death row. And they don't execute death row inmates at the rate that we've been dying in here. I think the last time I checked, we were up to 18 inmates have died thus far in the Michigan Department of Corrections. Name one state that's executed 18 people in a year, let alone a month. We are sitting here, we're going to die. This virus isn't going anywhere. It's going to keep recycling itself, and it's going to sweep through each prison over and over again, you know, for a long period of time. We need help, and we are scared. I am not afraid to say that. I am terrified.
If I can ask you one other question, is there a message that you would want to give to your family or anyone else out here?
Yes, I just want to tell my family, you know, the family that I love them, my friends, I love them. This is Terrell Bishop. You know, they know my struggle. I've been in here for 7 years fighting a good fight. And if anything happens, you know, just know I did my best and I love them. And please be safe out there.
Do I have your permission to use your name and face with the video?
Absolutely, yes. Thank you, Mr. Ishmael. We really appreciate you. Thank you for giving us a voice.
Well, we're, like I said, just trying to do what we can do to help.
I really appreciate you. This means the world. We are scared in here, and the environment in here is getting really tense. You can sense the fear, the anxiety, you know, amongst the inmates. It's getting bad. It really is. You know.
What does that mean to you? Like, what does that mean to somebody out here who doesn't know that experience? What does that mean?
This, you know, unless you're in here, unless you've been in here, you can never understand. But it's terrifying. It is terrifying. When I sit here, and like I said, Oakland County, I've been battling Oakland County, their corruption for many years. And I've been patient, like, okay, you know, God is going to get me through this. Everything's going to be fine. But now, this COVID-19, every day that I wake up, I'm like, okay, I survived another day. You just never know when it's your day. It's you really can't put it into words.
You have 1 minute remaining.
You know, we are terrified in here. We really are. The toughest guys in here, the most macho guys in here, you can see it. You can see the stress levels rising. You know, the people, please understand, we need help. The Michigan Department of Corrections, they are professional liars. This is what I know for facts. We can write grievances. We write paperwork on them. They manipulate and they lie to get out of it. They put on a good professional, good PC face and smile and lie, and they keep it moving. When they keep getting on the news saying that they're releasing us, that's not true. They're actually holding more people. They're releasing guys that should have been out of prison 10 years ago, but people that are eligible to be released now, they're not. They're extending their stay. It's almost as if, hey, they want us to die in here. And, you know, you can't back a scared animal and